Hi, Chrissy, and welcome to this interview. We've got some shocking weather today, but thanks for making it here. Um, for those who don't know, you haven't been in the squad. Can you just give us a little bit of a background to your swimming history?
Yeah, sure. So I started swimming as a kid back in England. It was all pool swimming, and I swam for the local club, the Rotherham Metros. But I think when I got to about 12, I sort of stopped, and then I didn't pick it up again until a few years ago in Australia, I think, and I started doing open water swimming. My first swim was in the Cottesloe Classic, and I didn't think I would make the full 1.6k, so I did the 450-metre swim and was absolutely hooked. And that was in January 2023. And then I sort of started looking at Rotto and thinking, maybe that would be a goal. So joined the first Rotto squad in that year, 2023, October 23, and first attempt was 24. Yeah.
And so, tell me, 24 was a pretty rough year. Tell us about how that went.
Yes, yeah, it was really rough, and it was also my only experience of a crossing. I didn't realize it was so bad to begin with because it was all I knew. And my skipper was also new that year. My paddler was new. So for all of us, this is what we thought maybe it wasn't as bad to begin with, but then it got really bad. And so, but I got really cold. I got pretty sick, and I called it. I think I was 6Ks in, and I called it 10 minutes before the race itself was called off.
Yeah, so the race was abandoned just because of really bad weather.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about some of the qualifying swims and the training swims in the lead up to that. How did they go?
So they were fabulous. I think actually I hadn't had a bad experience in the open water until race day in the 24 season. So the Christmas 10K, which was my qualifier that year, was brilliant. I think I did it in 3 hours 20. So I'm not a fast swimmer, but I was quick enough to make the timing. And that was really my only big 10K swim in 2023. And then in January we did a 12K swim, but I'd never done this like Rotto distance before.
Yeah.
Actually trying on race day. Yeah.
And so, in all the training that you did, how much emphasis did you put on your kind of physical training and your diet, and also on mental preparation?
So I think it went in all the wrong order. It went physical training, then nutrition, and then mindset was probably on the back burner. And I felt like I would be able to switch it on race day, and I didn't. Yes.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So all the wrong order,
Yeah.
because on race day you really needed the mental training more than the physical training, or
Yes.
at least equal.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so, what happened after that? You gave it another crack in 2025?
Yeah, so it did take me a while to pick myself up after that. I know the few people were going to do Port to Pub that year. My skipper was like, never, ever, ever again. So, and I also just wasn't physically able to do it. I think I'd just tried so hard on the day and was just exhausted that I couldn't bring myself back in a few weeks. I needed a lot more training to try again. But I still wanted to do it, so I thought, yeah, I'll give it a bit of time and try again in the 2025 season.
Okay. And what did you do differently then for the 2025 season? What did you do differently?
So I did nutrition was a really big part of it for me. So even in the off season, I was focused on eating well, so it came naturally. It wasn't another habit I had to pick up when I started swimming again. I'd also done quite a bit of strength training in the gym, so I already had quite a bit more muscle to help with the physical side of the swimming. And then I think it was relatively early on in the squad, I got introduced to yourself because I did have quite a few doubts that I would make it. I thought I'd be okay if conditions were good, but you can't control the conditions, and I wanted to be a bit more sure of actually making it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So compared to the first time when you said you got the order wrong, like physical, diet, mental, you started early enough. Now, even in the off season, you were training literally from a diet point of view. Yeah. And then, okay. So, what was the sort of self talk, doubt wise, that you were saying to yourself?
I think just because I'd never done that sort of distance before, and I was so exhausted after just doing 6Ks in 2024 that I felt like maybe 20Ks was actually just like too much, or I was too slow and I wouldn't make the cutoffs. And if they brought the cutoffs earlier, then I had no chance. But
And so, how did you change that self talk?
That's a great question. I think we had a fantastic conversation, and I think I realised once I'd put it out there that I was so scared and lacking confidence, and that it was then I'd become aware of it, and I could start then trying to change the mindset, reframe, and yeah, kind of decide, did I want to think that way? You know, maybe I could switch it up a bit.
Yeah. So you kind of, it sounds like you realized that you probably weren't even thinking about it beforehand, and that when you did think about it, you actually had some sort of choice on
Exactly.
on what you were thinking, and whether you wanted to think positive or negative thoughts, and so it kind of opened up some options for you.
Yes. Yeah.
And you, I was very fortunate to see you actually come across the line. It was a great experience for me to see that, to be there for that. But tell us about the actual swim day. How was that for you?
2025 was the best day of my life. And I literally said that, I think at the 14K, I had both arms in the air and I was like, this is the best day of my life. And my paddler was really cold, but he wasn't showing me that. And my team captain was pretty sick on the boat, but I didn't see that either. And I just loved it. It took me quite some time. It took me 8 hours, 43 minutes. But I just loved it. And even now, I can think about it. I see the bottom of the ocean, I see the colours, and I get that feeling of just the ocean carrying me across. And it's just fabulous.
So it's not something you're ever going to forget. It's just that's like an absolute life-changing experience. But it came at a price. You had to put in a lot of effort to do that, and obviously you got the reward. So if someone came to you and they were new to distance swimming or endurance events, particularly swimming, what advice would you give them?
I would say to try and enjoy the journey. You know, it's about it doesn't really, for me it didn't really matter my time. I just wanted to get there and really enjoy it.
And, and you obviously did.
Yes.
And the whole concept of preparing yourself mentally, what advice specifically from a training point of view? Have you got anything that you would say to them? When should they start?
I would say start early. I think that was my mistake in 24. It was quite a struggle because I thought I could just switch it on race day, but I hadn't prepped like I had for everything else, and so that was just something else I had to be thinking about instead of just the swimming. Whereas in 25 it came a lot more naturally, and I was just like, no, I got this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I don't have any more questions. So, I mean, it's just been fantastic to hear your story, and for you to be able to share the energy that you've got and your wonderful experience from the whole experience is just it's fantastic that you can share it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.